They say love takes work, but in Too Hot to Handle's case, it might be the result of a little producer magic. Reality TV is known to be manufactured, and while they can't make the contestants do anything they don't want to, producers can step in to direct scenes, encourage the cast to do things, or create scenes with the help of editing.
Poker face, game time.
Let's take a look at some moments that seem less than authentic. Produced reality. In an interview with Cosmopolitan, Season 1 alum Harry reveals that audiences are onto something.
Top secret information.
When they sense something's not authentic, because even though they're not allowed to be scripted, producers sometimes step in to direct scenes to get the desired results. He added, in these situations, if they know that you've got a problem or you need to have a chat with someone, they'll just point you in the right direction to get a result or to get that conversation happening and get you to the end goal. Some examples were when Carly was very frustrated with Chase for going after another girl right after their breakup. The producers stepped in to hold a workshop that allowed Carly to tie his mouth shut while Chase listened to all the anger she's been holding back in order for them to both move on peacefully.
I think you lied to me. I think you were really manipulative.
Also, towards the end of Season 2, when Cam suddenly got cold feet from the relationship he developed with Emily, producers had to push Cam to basically blurt out asking Em to be his girlfriend on their final date.
Do you want to be my girlfriend?
Something he wanted to do, but took forever to say it out loud because he was so nervous. In a way, producers act as love gods that help these singles find their way. Set storylines. Like any show on TV, there are set storylines put in place where you have the main couple, villains, supporting characters, and a storyline that leads to a happy ending. For instance, in order to see that the retreat has helped every one of them build progress, they start off by getting contestants to talk about how much of a player they are, so by the end, even though we know they're desperate for physical release after almost 2 months of remaining celibate, they are only raving about how much they've grown as a person.
I will remember all of this my whole life.
Also, the side characters who got partial screen time like Christina and Robert, who are only shown to have a physical connection and got kicked off the show because of it,
Mistakes may be made along the way.
actually developed a strong bond and have been dating for a good 7 months now. While many questioned why Chase was so into Tabitha despite her saying she's not marriage material, Chase said they actually formed an emotional connection, and even went on a date that never aired where they got the green light. So while it's not exactly scripted, the show is heavily edited to fit what the producers have in mind. Not everyone can be the main character after all. Marvin's confession. Marvin and Melinda's relationship was a bit of an uphill battle. Although they had initial mutual attraction, things got messy real quick when they were both just too busy playing games, trying to make each other jealous. While audiences can see Melinda crushing hard for the flirty Frenchman, Marvin seems to be more stone cold with Melinda, and it was always her that had to make an effort to win him back.
My head is just stuck on Marvin.
So after they were ripped apart by the rest of the cast for their rebellious act in the middle of the night, despite barely having a connection and losing a whopping 20 grand in the process, the two seemed to overly defend themselves, telling everyone they must prove their relationship is real. Because of this, Marvin went from a 0 to 100 with his feelings for Melinda, telling her he wants to be the man his father never was to his mom, and that he was falling in love with her, even making things official. His change in behavior helped him win the 55,000 grand prize at the end. But looking back, his confession may have just been a performance. A real convincing Oscar-level one too, because a month after they left the retreat, he stood her up to go with Chase instead for a trip to Mexico.
We're not together anymore.
We ain't together. It's done.
Is that what a changed man would do? We think not. Cam's one-man job. Not long into the retreat, the rebellious Cam, who already broke several rules with Emily, decided he needed some release, telling his friends he had a case of blue balls. It seemed strange that he was the only man who had this problem, and that he didn't get Emily to help him out. Audiences thought this scenario couldn't be real because either they had a serious lack of self-control, or as many have speculated, it was a producer move to get the drama going. The answer was actually neither, because, as it turns out, Cam had a serious medical condition that needed to be treated by doctors off-screen. So perhaps this $3,000 cost for losing self-control is excusable. Tabitha's temptation. Towards the end of the season, just as we see how much progress Cam made in his relationship with Emily, he nearly blew it up when he was tempted by newcomer Tabitha to get in the shower with him. This seems like a strange out-of-the-blue move because Tabitha barely had an interest in Cam. It seemed more like a test producers had sent for Cam to see if he would go back to his usual player tendencies. The British boy was very hesitant, but luckily he passed. This scenario helps add to the storyline to show how much the contestants have changed over the course of the retreat. Lana doesn't see all. Lana says she sees all, but really, how many steamy hot scenes can a small cone detect? According to the cast, not as many as she likes the audiences to believe. Carly had mentioned she would sneak makeout sessions into the lunchroom where the cameras aren't rolling, because they don't film the contestants eating. Plus, she's figured out how to hide underneath the cameras watching them so they aren't caught.
It was right underneath the camera.
This may explain why they rarely confess right away, and that when they do decide to break the rules, it's because they absolutely cannot hold back. Francesca and Haley's kiss. Taking it all the way back to the beginning of Season 1 after Too Hot to Handle's first rule break ever, when Harry made a move to kiss Francesca, Ben told the boys it was Francesca's fault because she made the first move.
You kissed me, I didn't kiss you.
This caused an angry Francesca to rant to BFF Haley, who hinted that they should have a makeout session with each other to get back at the group. But Francesca at the time didn't seem to take the hint. Later, all of a sudden, the girls had a passionate kiss that came out of nowhere. It looks like the producers may have encouraged the stunt to dial up the tension in the villa. It worked because the group later villainized the girls, with Haley being kicked off due to the drama she stirred up. Kayla Drama. Since there's a ton of editing that occurs, there are a lot of things we have yet to see on the show that were later exposed in interviews, like the drama surrounding Kayla. In an interview with Pop Buzz, Carly mentions that she got along with everyone but Kayla. Melinda also brought up that she had a huge argument with Kayla, just as she was about to leave the show in an interview with ET, saying that Kayla supposedly cursed her out because she was mad at all the money her and Marvin spent, and also stuck her nose in an argument between her and Larissa. Kayla defended herself, saying that she would never curse anyone out and that she and Melinda got along the entire time, except for the beef at the end, which they resolved but didn't know why she made a big deal about it in the interview. It looks like Kayla got away clean, at least the way the show edited it, and we'll never truly know what happened. Desiree's one-liners. One of the best parts of the show are the hilarious comments that Desiree, the narrator, leaves.
He's got a body slow-mo was invented for.
But her clever comments are not just random observations as she watches the contestants' love stories unfold on the beach. I cannot take all of the credit for what it is that you see watching the show. It takes a village, Desiree says. She has a team helping her write down the sassy and savage comments in the editing room, so her part is definitely scripted and we very much appreciate it. New contestants. Just as one relationship ends, another seemingly starts right afterwards. Like when Chase and Carly broke up, new singles conveniently came rushing in on jet skis to help the two form new relationships with Chase and Tabitha and Carly and Joey. The producers really are the fairy godmother we all need. While for the most part, the cast denies rumors that their television run was scripted, but they are often encouraged to create drama. Are there any other moments you think producers tried to set up? Let us know in the comments below. Like this video if you want to stay up to date on the latest reality TV news, and we'll see you next time on The Things Reality.